So, 8,647. This number is now making headlines across the United States. A social media post by former FBI Director James Comey has now triggered a serious round of investigation by the U.S. Secret Service. So let us discuss in simple terms. What is this number and why everyone, from the current FBI Director to the Secret Service, taking it seriously? Well, the former FBI Director James Comey, yes, the man who once led America's top law enforcement agency, has now posted and swiftly deleted an image on Instagram that many believe is a thinly veiled threat against none other than President Donald J. Trump. Take a look at this. A simple beach photo with seashells arranged to read 8647. And in the caption, he wrote, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." At first glance, you might say, what is this? There's nothing here, right? It is just a picture of shells, arranged in a certain way to form the number 8647. Well, this holds true if an ordinary person had posted this. Someone who never worked in a government department, especially not in intelligence agencies. But in this scenario, it's important to consider that the person who posted this was a former FBI director, a man who was fired by Donald Trump during the early days of the Russia probe. And now, let us come to the main issue of this post. Well, this number or code has a certain meaning, and James Comey knows it very well. Here you can see the number 86, which is an American slang term used primarily in the hospitality industry and sometimes in the military. Now, ordinary U.S. citizens may not know about this, but we're talking about a former FBI director who knows very well what he is posting and with what intended meaning. Now, 86 refers to kill or eliminate someone, and the rest, 47, is assumed to be a reference to Trump, who is serving as the 47th president of the United States. Now, this is all just assumptions, and these are not my thoughts. Maybe James Comey is clear, or maybe he is not. I'm only telling you what I've learned by reading a lot of articles and posts by senior experts who are claiming that this is something nasty. And President Trump also reacted to it, where he is openly saying this is clearly an assassination message directed at him. Please watch this short clip.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard because people like me and they like what's happening with our country.
Now, President Trump's concern is valid because in the past, several assassination attempts have happened against him, and the July assassination attempt could have changed the whole course of history. So he is definitely concerned about this. Now, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem also raised this issue. What message does the former FBI Director James Comey want to convey? And here you can also see White House Deputy Chief of Staff and Cabinet Secretary Taylor Budowich also posted that President Trump is currently on an international trip to the Middle East, and this type of post is being shared by a former FBI director. Well, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, also said in an interview that James Comey should be held accountable and jailed for the message he posted on social media. Here's a short clip of that moment. Please watch.
Do you believe Comey should be in jail?
I do. Any other person with the position of influence that he has, people who take very seriously what a guy of his stature, his experience, and what the propaganda media has built him up to be, I'm very concerned for the president's life. We've already seen assassination attempts. I'm very concerned for his life. And James Comey, in my view, should be held accountable and put behind bars for this.
President Trump's older son, Donald Trump Jr., also said, Comey is casually calling for my dad to be murdered. So right now, U.S. public sentiment is very high. Also, there are a bunch of other political commentators and influencers, like the brothers Ed Krasenstein and Brian Krasenstein, who, after James Comey's post, also shared a similar message with the number 8647, titled, "It's Time." So clearly, this is very concerning and troubling, that people are openly talking about and sharing coded messages related to the assassination of the president. Well, now this issue has also come to the attention of the current FBI Director Kash Patel, who also said that an investigation is ongoing, and they are in touch with the Secret Service and Director Curran. Basically, everyone is alert now, And this is very alarming because right now President Trump is not even the U.S., and internationally, suppose hypothetically anything happens to him, then you know what will happen. All fingers will be pointed towards the U.S. itself. And let's not forget, Comey has a long history of clashing with Trump. This brings back memories of his controversial tenure, including the 2016 Clinton email investigation. Later, during President Trump's first term, Comey was fired in connection with the Russia probe. He was publicly humiliated on national television and ultimately became a hero to the anti-Trump elite. Thankfully, the Secret Service isn't sleeping. They've opened an investigation, with the FBI providing support. Well, later, Comey deleted the post, clarifying, "I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. But now the FBI, Secret Service, and all the other U.S. agencies will themselves find the truth, whether the message was just a sarcasm or a real threat." But in court, proving James Comey or Krassenstein brothers guilty is not going to be easy. Because in the end, all discussion comes down to the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which grants free speech, including symbolic or cryptic speech. Now the question is, was there intent to incite violence? While Comey says the post was innocent, the political and legal implications are now under review. Trump has already survived 2 assassination attempts in the past year. The political atmosphere is extremely tense. In that context, even a seemingly harmless image can set off alarm bells. So in the future, things are going to be very interesting. We eventually need to wait and see what will happen to this case. But for now, thanks for watching the video. Hope you all have a wonderful day.